Hi guys, so what I've got for you today is a look at of a feature in Retroarch on Android that allows you to use the touchscreen to emulate a light gun. So what I'll do is I'll have a look at a few different cores, a few different systems, and a few light gun games where this feature works. So first up we've got Duck Hunt on the NES, and so typically for any game or any core to set up to get working with the touchscreen, you have to go to Options. And then if you scroll down for certain cores, so this is the FCEUmm core for the NES. So here we've got this zapper mode, and you can change what the default is of light gun to touchscreen. There's also for the NES this zapper tolerance. So this is kind of how many pixels away from where it wants you to hit you actually touched. I think this kind of depends on the size of your screen. So when I was playing with this before, I actually set this to maximum and it still was not trivial. So we'll set that to 20 here. The other thing you then need to do is in the controls. So a lot of the consoles, you would have port 1 as a gamepad. And then port 2, you can change the device type and you can change that then to the zapper. So hopefully now that will allow us to play Duck Hunt. So you see I've got the touchscreen controls for controller 1 shown, so we can start the game using that. So we can hit start. There we go. I think it's not liking the mix of there we go. So now let's hide those. So that's a nice feature in the kind of latest Retroarch touchscreen controls. You can hide them. See, okay. So you see me missing, but you see that the touchscreen is mimicking the firing. So Duck Hunt's a bit of a funny one. You really need to get the timing just right. It's unclear if I'm. So even with that tolerance increased, you'll see I'm still missing. And actually, of the games I've played, the NES and playing Duck Hunt isn't the best example of this. So, but you see what we've done to get it to work. Come on, let's at least try and hit one duck. No, missed again. Let's try one more. No, missed it. Anyway, let's go and load up a different core now. Okay, so although things didn't work that well with the NES, mostly due to accuracy, here's a game where things work a lot better, and that's body count on the Sega Megadrive. So like before, in the core options, there you can set the light gun mode to touchscreen. So if you just scroll down here, it's quite a fair way down. There we go. So we've got this option to show the light gun crosshair as before, and the light gun input we set to touchscreen. And then the controls. So with port 2, we set to the Megadrive Menacer. So for this game, you need to use the gamepad to control things. So we can choose one player using the start button, and then you select right, and it chooses the Menacer. I found a little bug in this. Sometimes this doesn't start. Let's see if it starts. Okay, so you see I'm pressing the start button, but we're not starting even though we've got the Menacer selected. I found that if you go back to the options and change the mode from touchscreen to light gun, then we go back, we're on the right, press start, and then the game starts. So then we just have to go back, change light gun mode back to touchscreen, and things will work. So we'll hide the thing. There we go. And what's nice about games like this, where we've got two buttons, is that if you touch the screen with a second finger, so I'm using my index finger to aim, if I press again, I can then I can then fire the grenades with the second button. And so, because this game, rather than requiring kind of single accurate inputs like Duck Hunt, you're literally just firing an automatic weapon. It's much less. There's much less requirement on absolute precision of where you're shooting. So you can kind of drag things around as if you were using a mouse, really, I guess. But this game is pretty good. It only came out in Europe. I think it came out in '94, so it's a sort of fairly late Megadrive release. But the Megadrive was still, well into its life, well into relevant life, I guess, in '94. Maybe partly because the Menacer gun really wasn't a popular peripheral for the Megadrive, although I had one back in the day. But this Duck Hunt, I would say was not particularly enjoyable. This though runs great. It is extremely difficult, so I doubt we're probably going to last too long. The trick with this actually is very regular bomb usage. Because yeah, you very quickly kind of get overwhelmed. The other thing is to shoot the bullets that are coming at you to kind of minimise the damage that they do to you. Let's see if we can clear this section. There we go, grenade him. Oh, there's two. Another one. There we go. Killed those. So there's regular power-ups. But yeah, I think this is a game well worth checking out, and it works pretty well with the touchscreen controls. So let's go on to the next system. Okay, so now another system. So here we've got the SNES, and so this is X-Zone. So another light gun game, and this one makes a lot of use of the kind of Mode 7 sprite scaling stuff that the SNES does very well. So yeah, as before, we'll go to options, and let's find the light gun setting. So yeah, in this case, you have to hit this show light gun settings option here, and then you get this light gun mode of touchscreen. And then we'll go to controls, change port 2, and we'll change it to the Super Scope. Okay, so hopefully that's going to work now. We'll hit start. So again, we're using the kind of controller to get things going. So there you go. I can move the cursor. Okay, we'll put it on easy because I think this game is known for being pretty difficult. Yeah, there's a lot of use of X here. Penetrate the extra air defense systems as you descend into the X termination zone. Shoot to start. Okay, so there we go. We're working. So yeah, none of those issues that we saw with the Megadrive. Yeah, so we've got the nice sprite scaling effects on this, which are pretty nice. The planes flying at the screen, or the rockets firing at the screen. But yeah, I didn't mention the core. I think this is the SNES 9X core that I'm using here. Okay, we've got the power up. Not sure what that does. I assume the bullets are a bit stronger Not sure if I've got a of any sort on this. I don't think so, because it showed us the controls before actually. But yeah, like body count, because you've got kind of an automatic weapon, the absolute precision is less important, because you're dragging your finger around, you're treating it like a mouse. So that was the first stage. So I think the second stage, you've got a different viewpoint. So we had a top down viewpoint there. Let's try and skip this. I think the second one, I think it's more side on, if I remember correctly. Proceed through the desert towards Compound X. Beware of enemy ground force. Oh, beware of enemy ground force. Okay, yeah, so we've got I guess actually the graphics are pretty much the same, right? You've got things coming across the screen at you, but the perspective is horizontal. So yeah, the challenge here is finding at least a second to shoot the enemies whilst you're trying to cover the rockets that they're firing at you. Okay, funny walking things at you. Yeah, remember this is on easy as well, so I think hard gets pretty nuts. Yeah, that's probably enough of this now. So yeah, this is X-Zone. This will work with most of probably all of the SNES light gun games. But yeah, no, I think this is a good one. So yeah, on to the next system. So we had 8-bit, then 16-bit, now 32-bit. So we've got Point Blank on the Sony PlayStation. So this is with the PCSX-ReARMed core on Android. And so this has touchscreen options kind of built in. You don't have to set it in the options. Let's go to controls. We probably need to change port 1. There we go. So port 1 we can change to the GunCon. And then if we go play, we can then hide the controls here. So let's get the menu. So we've got, as before with the Megadrive, basically the option to do 2 buttons. You've got the trigger button, which is a single touch, and then 2 touches, or 2 fingers together, hits the second button, which is start, I think. So there we go. Now, the only strange thing I find with PCSX-ReARMed is that to move the cursor, we see it's blue in the middle. We have to, or actually it isn't the cursor, but to move, you have to double tap. So if I just hold it down, I'm touching the screen here, you can't see, it doesn't do anything. But if I tap multiple times, we see we can shoot across the screen. So won't load the game data. We'll go to arcade. I'm double tapping that, and then we'll hit start. So having to tap multiple times is a little bit annoying, but it certainly works fine. And yeah, Point Blank is an absolute classic. Obviously started in the arcade and then ported to the Sony PlayStation. There we go. So it's like in the arcade. That was just the. Okay, so we've selected beginner. That was an accident, but it'll be alright. Let's try this octopus game. So yeah, I'm sure most people are familiar with Point Blank. It's you know, a series of mini games. You know, you haven't got very long for each one. And you have to meet certain criteria. So in this case, it's shoot. Okay, it was to shoot 25 octopuses. I think when I played this before, I played on easy. Let's try the one down here, bottom left. Okay, so what we've got to do, shoot the vultures. I think we've got unlimited bullets too, so you can literally just kind of keep... you can literally just keep hammering the screen. Let's continue there because we lost. This is the arcade mode, which I think is pretty close to the actual arcade game. It's like it's the most. I wasn't reading. What have I got to do? Shoot the leaf. Forgot. I need to. Those are one of the most challenging ones with this having to double tap. If you just sort of hit once, it will shoot in the center of the screen. Already shoot 16 criminals and don't shoot the hostages. So unlimited bullets. Okay, it's hostage there. Get that guy. Okay. No. Oh, that's two. Oh, that was annoying. I shot the bad guy, but again, because it recenters and fired again, I then hit. Let's just do one more. Let's not do the very hard. Shoot the dragon's head 18 times or more. Oh, this is one that came up in the kind of demo mode at the beginning. So this dragon looks very much like the dragon from Space Harrier, I guess. Nah, I've probably not done that. Oh, I should have played on easy because this is really hard on the normal mode. So yeah, I mean this works pretty well, I'd say. It's not perfect because, as I say, you need to do that double tapping, but it's perfectly functional. And again, I assume most of the games on the PlayStation work. So yeah, those are the console games I wanted to feature. Unfortunately, Dreamcast doesn't work with this, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, next up, let's have a look at arcade games. Okay, so now we've got Operation Wolf, the arcade game. So this is running in the current MAME core in Retroarch, and the other versions of MAME don't have the touchscreen option. So if we go to options here, light gun mode, touchscreen, anything other than the MAME current, you see it's version 0.23. Anything other than this doesn't work. But you see that we can move that around, and it uses the controller like you would in MAME. So we can put a credit in with select, and start with the start button. Okay, so here we got the first level. And again, similar to either body count or X-Zone that we looked at, because you've got an automatic weapon, you know, you can drag around the cursor with your finger, which works reasonably well. So really, it's a bit like playing with a mouse on a PC, but you know, the touchscreen provides a slightly different kind of dynamic for that, and especially if you're on the go with a tablet, you certainly could do a lot worse than playing a game like this. There we go. That's the first level done. So the biggest challenge I've had with this is actually getting the right ROM to work with the latest version of MAME. So as long as you can get the right ROM to work with version 0.230, or whatever the version of MAME will be that is current. So yeah, as long as you can get that right ROM, then yeah, it works fine. I had to try a few ROMs of this before I got one to work. Oh, shouldn't have killed the child. But yeah, I'm gonna be dead in a second, so yeah, let's just play until we lose a life. Oh, nearly shot the medics. There we go. So yeah, that's pretty good. That's Operation Wolf, but as I say, many light gun games I expect will work with this sort of setup. So there we've had 4 home systems and now arcade games working. I just want to highlight one system that doesn't seem to work very well for me, and that's the Master System. We were just looking at Operation Wolf, the arcade game. Here's Operation Wolf, the Master System game. So this also runs in GenesisPlusGX that we ran body count on earlier. But the mapping of the buttons is basically not quite right. So if you go to controls, you can set port 2 controls to the light phaser, Master System light phaser. So this would work on original hardware. See, we've got the controls working there. And so when this starts, we'll see what the problem is. So the light phaser, I think, had a trigger and a separate button. And so see those explosions? That's with a single touch. We're firing a grenade, and I can see no way to fire a normal shot. So that makes this game basically unplayable. I had 5 grenades, I fired them, now I've run out. And so the touchscreen implementation is coming along. We saw a few bugs. It didn't quite work in body count, where we had to sort of switch between light gun, and touchscreen. With PCSX-ReARMed, we had to double tap to get get it to register. And here's an example where the button mapping isn't right. So yeah, basically I think this is a really cool feature that you can use the touchscreen for light gun games, and hopefully you might want to go and have a look at whether it's NES, SNES, Megadrive, or PS1. I think PS1 particularly is probably the most fun. There's lots of classic light gun games on that system that, through using the touchscreen, basically means you can play them again. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I'll be back soon with more videos. See you then. Bye.